Welcome back, listeners. This is a new and improved Just the Basics podcast. We're ditching our old style of top 5 basic, and we'll be with the same energy and everything. But today we're going to be talking about a very important topic: how to talk to girls. 82% of all of our listeners are girls. So if you feel like some of these tips are bad,
That doesn't say much.
go down in our comments.
We get like
tell us that we're wrong.
20 listens a video, and they average about 15 seconds in length.
Today we're actually having a real live female on our guest.
If you're a female and you've listened so far, I'd like to personally shake your hand. Drop your name and address in the comments, please.
Our guest is Kayla.
Hi guys.
She is our professional female for today. I'm your host. I'm the love guru. I'm an intern still, but
My name's Jacob Byers. I'm an amateur cult leader.
And I'm Evan Noasad, your undergraduate mood ring interpreter. And with us, we have our professional female, Kayla Hands.
And her associate, Madeline Camphy.
Hi.
Say hi, Madeline.
Hi.
Okay, so we just got some questions for you today. Questions that could help our male listeners, even though they are the minority in this case. It's kind of surprising to me, but I guess Just the Basics is already good with the ladies. So let's get things rolling. So first of all, I want to ask you, when a guy approaches you, what do you notice first? What do you notice first? Is it something about his voice, the way he looks?
Probably his, teeth, his hair, his eyes.
His smell?
If we're gonna be
What shirt he's
completely
wearing.
honest, it's probably first impression is probably his looks, and second is probably his voice. If he comes up to you, I pay more attention to what they're gonna say to me if they come up to me, but the first thing I notice is probably how they look and then probably their eyes.
And about their looks, it's their hair.
Yeah, more so than anything else.
What's the hair like? What is your favorite hair like?
Definitely this kid.
Is it curly?
Jacob's
Is it
right
little
there.
curly Jacob hair?
I rolled out of bed today and slammed a Red Bull.
It kind
Is
of
that your routine?
depends.
Yes,
It kind of depends on, I don't know, the person. I mean, I don't mind curly hair. It's just as long as it looks like they pay attention to it at some
What
point.
about perms? We see a lot of perms around Lincoln.
No.
No. All right.
Not
Maybe.
for me anyway.
Mullets?
It depends.
Mullet?
Absolutely not.
Well, you heard
I
it here
find
first,
them,
guys.
I find
No
them funny,
mullets.
not attractive.
We have a few mullets around LCS.
We don't know if they
Funny and
listen to the podcast, but if you do,
Stop.
we're terribly sorry. But you heard it here. You need to change it.
Please change it.
But I guess this is all important discussion because sometimes when you're talking to girls, it doesn't even matter what you have to say. Like, if you look like you rolled out of a dumpster, you've already failed the mission, soldier. You might as well just go home and train harder.
If you do pass that test of being attractive, you can move on to your words. What type of word choices or styles would you
What kind
go
of
for?
word game works with you guys?
Fancy, casual.
You girls, I should say. Or the guys or the
Intelligent.
girls.
Yeah.
Do you like witty remarks?
Yeah.
Do you like them to break out into spontaneous singing? No? Not like High School Musical?
Oh, I do be trying to find me Troy Bolton.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
There
if
you
Zac
go.
Efron walked up to me in public, I'd have... This is a Christian podcast. Let's keep going.
I'd have to say that if you're gonna walk up to me and talk to me, I'd say don't just immediately go, "Hey, can I have your snap? I think you're cute." Ask my name. I'd say I have that one a lot where they don't even bother with my name.
Okay,
So
so...
that'd be creepy.
Don't be creepy.
Okay.
Just don't be creepy.
All right.
Be pretty just casual, like it's a normal thing, and ask my name.
So far we have presentation, so how you present yourself, your physical appearance, and then first interaction. It's key, folks. You all know it, but do you all practice it? Are you walking up to women asking them what their favorite strain of horseradish is? Or are you saying, "Hey, we have a math class together. How has your day been?" Okay, so really word choice. To does it matter that much to you? Or is it all about the first impression that's going to break the ice, and then you can have casual conversation after that? Or do you like to have specific conversations? Which works best for you girls?
You got thoughts?
Or laid back.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, that's another one.
What's the mood of the conversation you usually like to have? And just assume that this is some dude who walked up to you at a football game or something.
Let's see.
I want him to be like confident but not cocky, because like
Yeah.
I'm gonna be awkward no matter what. So if he kind of like can take the lead in the conversation, I guess I appreciate that.
And
probably.
yeah, if you're gonna walk up to me, like she said, don't be cocky about it. Don't make it look like your friends dared you to do this,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
or it's a joke, because that will not help you at all.
Write this down, Hank. Be confident.
Confidence
Confidence
and
is a good thing.
honesty, I guess. You need to communicate why you are there,
I'd say so.
but don't over communicate it, because then you seem desperate. You seem desperate. What do we
There's
call
a
those?
fine line.
What do we call those boys? We call those simps.
Sims.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
All right, you have any wild cards like outfits, smells?
I have to say, if you don't have decent personal hygiene,
Yeah.
or I walk up to you and I can smell BO, no.
So
Mhm.
Kayla,
End
what
of
is
story.
Kayla? What is your opinion on Axe body spray? Is it a cure-all?
Are you an Old Spice kind of girl?
I know I am.
If a dude had to skip a shower and bathe in one body spray, which one would you choose?
Oh my.
Oh boy. I'm not a big. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
I don't really
like,
know.
what-
Yeah. Honestly.
You've never smelled an 8th grade hallway after it was
I
recently
have, but
Axe
that's
bombed?
like so many of them together.
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
it's just. It becomes like this.
I
it
am currently
becomes the
wearing
same.
Mary Kay cologne that my
Smells-
mom bought for me.
It smells very good,
That's
Jacob.
Thank you.
It all becomes like one scent.
Right.
If there's
So
too much of it. I don't think it matters as long as you don't overdo it and it isn't an absolutely disgusting smell. Just don't
Right,
overdo
right.
it. Or put more than one scent on. It just
Yeah.
I don't know. That's weird, but okay.
No combining
Like-
scents.
Do not.
pine needles and leather oil are those good smells?
That smell
I read
manly.
in a book once that those were like aphrodisiacs kind of, but that's not
Probably
the end
are.
game. That's not the end game here, folks. This is a Christian podcast. You're just trying to have premarital conversation,
Exactly.
not premarital copulation. Remember,
Mm.
folks.
That's a quote by Jacob. That's going in the books right there.
Yeah.
My senior quote right there.
That will be on our merchandise when we
New merch
have
coming out.
coming out at some point,
Link in
whenever,
the description.
in a future episode.
Yes.
Right now, we don't have the
Unannounced.
funds. We don't have the funds nor the motivation to do that. But let's hop back into this episode.
Let's go back to language. Language.
Body language. Yeah.
Okay.
So, Hank,
Yeah.
obviously we've been discussing word language, but what kind
Mhm.
of body language do you think we should be giving off? Here, let's do something interesting. We'll say what we think the ladies like,
Okay.
and then the ladies
Oh,
respond.
Okay.
Oh.
They criticize our answer.
Like a hand drive, or the hokey pokey, or the Macarena.
That would fall under the category of peacocking, which we know that works in the wild. If you strut right, I mean, you'll have a mate for the
I
winter.
feel like body language would be like confidence. Like, you know, you're walking up like with swag. You got like that swag. You get your arms like this. You're doing it to them and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. What about
So-
you, Jacob?
I think shoulders back, chin up.
Mm,
Obviously,
good one.
not like you just sat on a patch of cacti, but you need to look like you got some pride in yourself. Obviously, pride is a sin, but we need you to look confident, like
Stand
we
up
said
straight
earlier.
and tall.
Don't just sound confident, look confident, okay? If you look like you just got whipped, then I'm sorry, but you need to go back to square one and just figure yourself out again.
What would you guys say about that? Would you agree with that? Anything to add?
I'd say, yeah, you need to walk up like you're confident, but there's a kind of a line where you don't want to show up and be like super shy about it and
Yeah.
like
Mm.
you don't know what you're doing. And then you also don't want to show up, like I said earlier, like your friends dared you to do it and you're like super cocky about it. Or
Has that,
you've done
you brought that up twice now. Has that happened to you before?
maybe.
Mm.
More or less so.
Mm.
What?
Madeline, what about you? What do you have to say about body language?
I don't know, like, be confident, but also be super chill about it. Like, don't look like you've
Yeah.
done this 100 times, like you do it every night.
There's
Just-
kind of a fine line.
It's
Just
kind of
be
hard.
yourself and
Yeah.
be like a normal person.
We interrupt this podcast with a quick little plug. As you guys know, we have a Twitter and a Patreon.
And
As
an
well as
Instagram.
Yes, Instagram.
I manage that one.
Spotify, if you're listening for Spotify, obviously you know that. We have Anchor, and then we have YouTube. I understand that you love this podcast, right? Wouldn't you say you guys love this podcast?
Your favorite podcast.
It's
right?
probably your
Yeah.
favorite podcast,
It's
right?
the only podcast I listen to, and it's very
Honestly.
entertaining during second period study hall every
Ooh.
week. Very entertaining.
All right, you heard
Do you
it.
follow our
Oh.
social media plugs?
No, I don't.
Well,
But I
you should.
do have you.
Fake fan!
I do have you like the little notification bell for Spotify.
Yeah.
Okay, that kind of compensates.
Yeah,
for
that
her
makes sense.
feelings.
What would be the perfect interaction? Like if a guy came up to you and said something, like what would that be? Could
Yeah,
you give
what-
us an example of that?
Imagine it's Zac Efron,
Yeah.
and you're both on the set for High School Musical, and he walks up. What does he say? How does he look? What does he smell like?
Okay.
What's his body
What
language?
is, yeah.
That's a you question.
Okay, I'll
Madeline.
take this one. So he's wearing jeans
Okay,
and a white t-shirt.
we are all failing right now.
All right.
That works.
We're on the roof of the school, and
We are in a janitor's closet
that's
right now.
okay. And can I have this dance? The song starts playing in the background. If you don't know what
I
that
listen to
is.
Brockhampton, so I
Okay,
don't know
well,
what that
you
is.
should listen to it. It's a very good song.
Okay,
And then he says, "Can I have this dance?" And we start dancing. That's perfect
what kind of
interaction.
dance? Because that plays into body language.
Mm.
It's a waltz in
A
the
waltz.
movie.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So you're going by the script.
Yes.
So what I'm gathering is that you're a by the script kind of gal. So you expect all interactions to seem as if they were organized, planned out, and they're done with intention. So you don't want any roll of the dice, Mr. Mystery or anything.
I don't know though, because I do like some mystery. Like if a guy just were to walk up and be like,
Now, what amount of mystery? Okay, if I were to
Oh,
walk up
geez.
to you in a park with a trench
Oh.
coat and a ski mask,
"Oh,
That is
There
kind
is-
of
what would you say? That's
Very
very mysterious. You don't-
Mysteries can be quite scary in that sense. So I'd kind of avoid them. Like maybe a little bit, but not that much.
let's just
That's-
always do it in daylight. Let's make that.
Yeah.
one.
yeah.
I personally do not enjoy mysteries. They feel like lying to me. I feel like you
Yes.
should give me your full self all at once.
Kind of like how
Maybe.
if a girl walks up to a dude and says, "Hey, can I get your snap for my friend?"
Mm,
There's a whole level
No.
of mystery
Yeah, that
there,
is-
and I'm not willing to take that chance.
yeah.
Nope.
For all I know, that friend could be another dude.
Okay, so
Probably is.
Fair.
as you know, we can't all be Zac Efron, right?
Right.
So
right.
what would be a realistic interaction that you would like?
What's one of the
Wait.
best interactions you've had so far?
Oh.
And you don't. Please don't name
No, You
names.
want to go first?
Having
No
some
names. No
anonymity to this will make it safe for the internet.
It wasn't even like an interaction. We didn't even talk. But okay, do you guys know when you're in the airport and you see someone your own age and like you just
The sexual tension.
Yes.
Yeah, you could cut it with a knife.
yes. Okay. This
I'm
one-
thinking like, are we gonna kiss next to the baggage checkout? You know?
But this wasn't in an airport though. I was on vacation and I was in an ice cream store and a guy was working there. He was very cute. He was my age. And
What did he say? Did he say like
he
what can I
didn't say
get you?
anything, but his looks just said stuff.
Yeah. So this is a body language thing, you know?
Okay, all right.
Pay
Yeah.
attention, listeners.
Yeah,
You don't
those
even need to
eyes.
say something sometimes. If you look good enough, obviously it's kind of difficult during quarantine when you
Yes.
aren't allowed out places, but when these restrictions are lifted, all you got to do is walk around outside. I mean, that's peacocking. You think peacocks talk? No, they just
scream.
They scream at each other. they just have to look pretty.
And if you do decide to talk to the girl,
I don't like that.
oh,
I don't like that step at all. You've lost my attention already.
But we
Or,
need that step sometimes.
if you're working
I
somewhere
guess
or you
so.
have to talk to them, if it's not even like you're trying to get to know them, just be nice to them with whatever you have to say to them.
And smile.
Oh yes,
That goes a long way.
yep.
Okay, so if some man
Look
was
at
to
them.
approach a woman on the street, what would they say? Would they be like, hey, I know your address, or would they go
No.
from, what would be the ideal
Now, obviously,
top like
in this day and age,
simulation?
a lot of these off-the-cuff interactions can be taken as catcalling, and as we do not support nor condone the actions of harassing women, we would like to know what's a safe way to approach women you don't know on the streets. So you see a
I know. I was
you
like,
see
is there one?
you see a
Don't.
fine piece and you want to talk to her, you just have to let it slip.
Just throw a
Have you ever been
direction.
approached by a stranger? Like, not in a creepy way, but just someone who's like, hey, I'd like to get to know you better.
I have, but that's not what happens. It's not, hey, I'd like to get to know you better. I mean, I think you're pretty or whatever. It's usually your typical, hey, I think you're cute. Can I get your snap? And I'm just like, I'm not. If that's what you're gonna
A lot of libido
Just
in that
jump with
equation. A
for
lot
that.
of libido. I would not say his intentions are pure.
Yeah. No, there's I don't think there's very many guys out there that will on the street that will just go up to a girl with pure real intentions.
I would say if you are approaching a girl on the street, then that means you're only approaching her for your looks because you don't even know her yet.
That's
Right,
fair.
right.
Get to know the girl,
Yeah.
I think.
So if you're approaching a random girl that you don't know, then what are you doing?
It's right there.
I'd also like to, this kind of popped into my mind. Ladies, please carry pepper spray wherever you go, okay?
I need pepper
Or a
spray.
knife, or a gun.
I've been
Or
pepper
a gun.
I've been pepper sprayed before, not for the reason that you might be thinking. It's just for fun. And let me tell you, it works, okay? It works.
Oh yeah.
Yup.
So,
I had it on.
I need
we've
to
talked
put
about your
myself someday.
ideal encounter and your best encounter. What's been your worst so far?
Well, I could say. So I work at a YMCA, right? It's
Mm.
great.
Mm.
This
Which
was
one?
the couple YMCA.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Wait, but this was probably my most recent odd interaction. Is I was coming off of a shift at work. I was just running out to my car to go grab some food and then come back for my next shift. And my hair was a mess and I did not care. And I was just running out the door. I was on a roll. And as I'm going over to my car, this random guy came over and was like, hey, wait. And I'm like, oh, okay. And he goes, I think you're really cute. Can I have your snap? And I was like, no. And I told him no. And he goes, what? Am I not cute enough for you? And to be fair, he was not cute at all.
You sure you don't have any
I mean,
edits?
I do, but I also have a resting bench face, so I feel like people just won't approach me. But
Well,
I
I
was-
mean, when you're wearing a mask out in public,
Right.
people
Oh,
won't
that's
know
true.
as much,
okay, that's
and
true.
they'll see your eyes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, let me tell you something. I've made several mistakes of like staring at certain women just based off their eyes, and then when they take their mask off, I'm like, ah.
I'm not gonna lie, that is a real problem. I've experienced that one too. What?
Now, we don't mean to be condescending on this episode. Just honest, okay?
Honesty.
Okay, but my story, I guess I was in an airplane, and me and my mom got separated like in the flight because we didn't get tickets by each other. And
lot
I
of
was by
airport
all
stories.
these what?
A lot of airport stories.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
This
I
is
was
worldwide.
I was by this like group of people, and I was sitting close to the back of the plane, and I was just like, I was probably 13, and I just didn't talk to them because I was super scared. But at the end of the flight, when we were all like getting up, a random girl, the girl that was in front of me, she turned behind, she's like, "You're really pretty." And I, like, she probably meant it as a compliment.
Yeah.
She definitely did. But I was like, how do I respond to that? I was like, "Thank you."
Our school in specific, we have 2 upcoming events. Homecoming and more into the future, our winter dance.
Depends on if. Oh no,
Prom
prom. I was
dance.
thinking prom. Depends on if.
Yeah.
We get canceled.
This is
again.
all-
Well, winter,
It's a winter formal because we can't dance.
Well, sometimes
You
there
can do the
is
cha-cha
dancing.
slide. You can do the
What
cha-cha
is
There's line
slide.
dance.
I think
It's
line
line
dancing is
dancing.
stupid.
It's not a dance though. It
We
makes
have
me sad.
someone on
Regardless,
the homecoming court. in the
Why?
room.
Oh no, we don't need to talk about
Yes.
that.
what is the best way for a guy to ask a girl?
Oh.
Because I've heard lots of different theories on
Ooh.
this.
Yeah,
Some of which
posters.
involve posters,
Mhm.
Okay.
some of which involve elaborate stunts, and some of which just involve simple questions.
Okay. I think that you can't just ask them. I think that anyways. You might.
For what? Is this case by case? Like, does it matter
Yeah,
which
how
event
it
it
depends
is?
how well
Definitely
you
case by
know
case.
them, I
Yeah.
think.
But also, does it depend on which event you're getting asked to? Obviously, there's a degree of formality
Yeah.
Yeah.
to each event. Prom being the most formal, winter dinner second most formal, and then homecoming. Surprisingly, at our school, you could basically show up naked.
Honestly.
No, not
Just-
honestly.
Not honestly, yes. Okay.
Don't do that, okay? If
Bad ideas.
if you're one of our listeners and you don't go to our school, but you get asked to our homecoming, please do not show up naked. But if you do, it will be
Well, at least
posted
there's no
on the-
dancing. It'll be at nighttime, so maybe no one will see you.
it will be posted on the Instagram and Twitter.
I would say that if you're with our homecoming, it's not formal. With that, in my opinion, that's more just like the school kind of high school kind of gets together and has fun.
Right.
To me, that almost shouldn't have a date. But if you're doing a winter formal or like most people's homecoming, where it's a formal event, I would say, yeah, sure. If you want to ask a girl, don't ask them over text. At least ask them in person.
Yes.
To
With
some degree.
posters?
Posters, I think, are kind of cool, but I've
Yes.
never had one, so I don't know how that goes. Madeline, I know you have. Because then
Posters? Yes.
sometimes there's the
Yeah.
obligation to say yes with a poster.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because you're really being vulnerable and opening yourself out.
Yeah.
Is that what
Yeah.
it is?
And oftentimes there's other people watching too and
Mhm.
taking videos and
Have you ever pulled this stunt where you say yes in public but no in private?
I've thought about it. I've kind of done that in a way.
Ouch.
times.
Sorry for you, bro, if you're listening.
And if it does work out and the girl says yes, you can treat it like a gender reveal party and just blow up a forest, you know,
Oh.
in celebration. Just
a minute.
Call in an airstrike on California, set off some pipe bombs, shoot some napalm, you know?
We don't endorse
It works.
domestic terrorism.
I don't know if I'd
Please
go that
please
far.
Keep
for
our sovereign
prom
soil
dates.
safe. Back into the discussion. Prom, that's the big one. And obviously, a lot of high school kids across the nation did not get to experience prom last year. So this
Very
year,
sad.
No kidding.
this year will be a big one, just for the sake that, I mean, I think every year in recent history there's been a prom somewhere. But how do you envision yourself getting asked to it?
I don't know why, but I always wanted ice cream, like, a carton of ice cream, and them to write prom in it.
Really?
What?
Yes.
Simplicity.
I literally have thought that since 7th grade. I don't know why. No one's
I've
gonna
never
do
had
it.
it at that, but that's kind of
Yeah.
All right,
What?
boys, if
Ice
you know
cream?
Madeline
Get
and you want to
them
ask
some
her out,
food.
you know how now.
If you have the hots for Madeline Campy and you just listen to this podcast,
That would be
you have a leg up on the
I don't know about
competition, my
that.
friend. You're
Yeah.
welcome. Be sure to leave a like on this podcast wherever you're listening to it, and also comment. What are your plans for asking a girl to prom?
Yes.
What about you, Caleb?
Yeah.
Honestly, I haven't really thought about it because there's so many things that somebody could do. But I'm gonna say if you ask them and you also to prom and you have some sort of like candy or ice cream, that is kind of a thing that girls would like because
Yes.
they don't want to just get that stuff for themselves sometimes. So if you just get them a box of candy or a candy bar, ice cream, it's
With
kind of a
chocolate
nice
boxes?
thing.
Those
Ooh.
little things?
Those
Or those
can
are
be
like
Valentine's
those,
stuff?
They can be good. I
No.
love chocolate, so like
Okay.
anything.
Yeah, just
will,
find
like,
out what they like.
Yeah.
What about you guys? What do you ever wish that the girl would ask you?
No,
No.
I'd feel weird
Yes.
and obligated to say yes.
That's fair. I
Yeah,
I
because
think
it's
everybody.
untraditional.
kinda
Even if
has
I,
that.
even if I did like the person, then I would be like, wait, like she likes me too much.
Oh, I've got it. Thoughts on girls making the first move?
Non-traditional, but if
I
it
mean-
works, it works. You know. Generally, I don't think the guy should say no because he should just strap it up, deal with it, be a gentleman. Because going to a school function doesn't mean you're gonna marry the person. Okay.
At LCS though.
At LCS,
No comment.
it's expected that you have one prearranged marriage planned out by your junior year. I have failed this pattern,
I think
and my
many of
parents are
us
going to
have
disown
failed
me.
at that. If that's the case.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of guys are shy to ask. They want to, but then it gets to a point where they can't. And if the girls,
Now,
understand this,
gentlemen,
then I guess I want
if one of you out there does want the girl to make the first move, just ask yourself why.
to. Yeah.
Okay. Why? Is it something that you're dealing
98%, it's not gonna happen. You got.
I think
Yeah.
that you
For
should just treat it as if you wanted to ask them at first and they ask you, then that's fine. But if you didn't want to go, then just say no.
sometimes
Be polite.
honesty is the kiss of death, but
But it's honest.
it's honest, you know.
There you go.
It's
You
better
have to
than
be honest.
faking something
Yes.
and wasting your time.
Yes.
I've made that mistake.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think we got a grasp on how to talk to girls.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
we
you
need
say,
to-
guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, special thanks to Hank for participating in this and editing all the weird things we said that you guys will not end up hearing.
Yeah. For our
For-
18% of male viewers or listeners,
Yeah.
definitely comment down below what you learned, or any questions.
Hope
Maybe
you
we
were
can get back to
taking
you.
notes.
And
Yes.
girls, female listeners, if you have any tips, leave them in the
Or
comments.
if you
Please
flat
say
out
this.
disagree.
Yes.
Yeah, because a lot of things vary between
Each
girls.
girl,
Yeah.
Yeah, we tried to
Very
be comprehensive here. We didn't know we'd have two females
So that's
today.
better.
Yeah, but we got a wider spectrum of opinion. Okay.
I think that was
And that's what we value here on Just the Basics podcast. Open-ended discussions with multiple solutions and differentiating opinions. This has been an episode of Just the Basics podcast. I'm Jacob.
I'm Evan.
I'm Hank.
I'm Kayla.
I'm Madeline.
Thank you for tuning in.